Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something pretty critical. The 10 signs that tell a marine engineer to shut down a ship's generator, like right now. This is all based on expert guidance for the folks who keep these massive vessels running at sea.
So let's just set the scene for a second. Picture yourself on a ship the size of a small city, and you're miles and miles from the nearest shore. Everything, I mean everything, from the navigation systems to the lights in your cabin, it all relies on one thing: a steady, non-stop flow of power. And that's where the ship's generator comes in. It's not just another piece of equipment, it's the absolute powerhouse. It's the beating heart that keeps all operations and, frankly, life on board running. So yeah, making sure it runs perfectly, kind of a big deal. You know, the source material for this explainer has this fantastic quote. It says there's this razor-thin line between a small problem starting and that problem blowing up into a full-blown disaster. For a marine engineer, being able to see that line isn't just a skill, it's the critical judgment call that stands between routine maintenance and total catastrophe. Okay, so what are these warning signs? What are the things an engineer absolutely, positively cannot ignore? We're going to break these 10 critical warnings down into 3 main groups. First, the stuff your own senses can pick up on. Second, what the data and the gauges are trying to tell you. And finally, what happens when the whole system starts to break down.
So first up, let's talk about the sensory red flags. These are the warnings you can literally see, hear, and feel when you're right there in the engine room. They're the most immediate signs that something is wrong.
You know, an engine room is a symphony of mechanical noise. It's just loud. But a good engineer, they know every single note in that symphony. So when any sound is out of place, even if it's faint, that's a massive red flag. It could be a bearing about to fail or some critical part shaking loose. The only right move is to stop everything and investigate. Ignoring it? That's not just a gamble. It's practically a guarantee that things are about to get way worse.
Okay, smoke. This one's simple. If you see smoke, the time for subtle warnings is over. You are now in an active emergency, period. The procedure has to be instant. Fire up the standby generator from a remote location and then hit that emergency stop on the one that's failing. Every single second matters here.
Here's a great way to think about it. Excessive vibration is the machine literally screaming for help. It's shaking itself apart. It could be something as simple as a loose foundation bolt or a much more serious internal imbalance. If you just let it keep running, you're letting it destroy itself. You have to stop it, find that source, and fix it right away.
All right, so we've talked about what your own senses can tell you, but you also have to listen to the machine itself, and that's where we get into the data-driven warnings. This is all about what the instruments, the gauges, and the alarms are telling you. It's the generator's way of communicating that there's a problem before it turns into a full-blown crisis. Now this one is super interesting because it shows how a seemingly easy fix can go catastrophically wrong. So say your oil pressure drops. Your first instinct might be to blame a clogged filter. But here's the trap. If you switch to the standby filter without priming it first, and that means filling it up with oil to get all the air out, you can accidentally create an airlock in the system, and that starves the bearings of oil and can cause massive, massive damage. And this is how you do it like a pro. You stop the engine, you prime that new filter, getting all the air out, you make the switch, and only then do you restart. Sure, it takes a few extra minutes, but those few minutes are what prevents a simple filter change from becoming an engine-destroying disaster. So when you see a high pressure reading across the oil filter, it means one thing: it's choked. The engine is literally struggling to get the lubrication it needs to survive. Ignoring that alarm, especially when the ship is doing something tricky, like maneuvering in a harbor, is a terrible bet. The filter could just give up completely, the engine gets starved of oil, and bam, a sudden blackout, right when you need power the most. Overspeed. Now this is one of the most dangerous failures you can imagine. If the governor, that's the little device that controls the engine speed, fails, the engine can literally run itself to pieces. The forces involved are just immense. They can be explosive. If the automatic safety trip doesn't work, a manual shutdown is your last and only defense. And afterwards, a full internal inspection isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely mandatory. This one's all about the integrity of the safety system itself. See, if you find that just one alarm isn't working, you have to assume that none of the other safety trips are reliable either. Your entire safety net is compromised. Ignoring what seems like a minor broken alarm is like finding one smoke detector in your house is dead and just assuming all the others will work fine. You just can't take that risk. Okay, for our final section, let's look at what happens when the essential supply systems start to fail. A generator doesn't exist in a bubble. It needs a constant flow of fuel, oil, and cooling water. When any one of those lifelines gets cut, the generator is in immediate danger.
No cooling water? That is a 5-alarm fire right there. An engine's temperature will skyrocket in seconds. Metal parts expand, they seize up, and they can effectively weld the engine into a solid block of metal. Your only option is to shut it down, immediately. And even after it's stopped, you're not done. The source material is very clear. You have to turn the flywheel by hand with lubrication to keep the cooling parts from fusing together for good.
A tiny little leak might not seem like a big deal, but trying to fix it while the engine is running is a huge mistake. That pipe is under pressure, and it's full of hot liquid. If you try to tighten a fitting and it fails, you could get sprayed with scalding hot oil or water at high pressure. It's incredibly dangerous. Always, always stop the engine first.
Let's be really clear about this. Water is the #1 enemy of lubricating oil. It absolutely destroys the oil's ability to create that protective film between metal parts. That means metal grinding on metal, and it means corrosion. Even a tiny bit of water in the oil is a slow death sentence for an engine. It'll just chew through vital parts like bearings over time.
And this quote just perfectly sums up the whole mindset, doesn't it? It's all about being constantly vigilant, always thinking about what could go wrong, and having the expertise and the courage to make the right call even if it's the hard one. It's about preventing a disaster, not just cleaning one up. So after all that, what's the big takeaway? Well, this list is a fantastic guide, but it reminds us that the single most important safety system on any ship is the skilled, experienced engineer on watch. It's their gut feeling, their intuition, and their courage to act decisively that really keeps the lights on and the ship safe when you're miles from anywhere. It's a huge responsibility, and it's one that really deserves our respect.